Finished up positive 3 points yesterday. The NASDAQ and the S&P were negative. Right now, all the major market futures look like they are, or the market indexes look like they're going to open in positive direction as the U.S. apparently shakes off anything that's going on in Cyprus and takes a look and focuses primarily on what the Fed is going to do and say at 2:30 when Ben Bernanke comes out of his meeting, does his press conference at 2:30. What's he going to talk about? Is there going to be an indication that there may be a pullback in any kind of buying? I doubt it, at least for this year. What's he going to say as far as the state of the economy, interest rates, and those kinds of things? So everybody's kind of waiting on that. I mean, there's, basically the attitude is that hopefully he's just going to hold fast to what he's been doing, and that is probably likely going to be the case. But nevertheless, the markets are probably going to be relatively, well, there hasn't been any volume anyway to speak of, in my opinion, but low volume and not a whole lot of movement until after 2:30. So we'll watch that closely. If you're a partner with me on the website, by the way, today is a day we're having a conference call. You can join an interactive conference call if you're a partner with me at 12 o'clock Central Time, lunchtime. So hopefully you'll do that if you're a partner. Also, if you're a partner, you're getting an alert out, a very, very important alert. Make sure you open it, please. And I'll talk a little bit about it here throughout the program as I'm speaking in reference to the bond market. You also might want to check our stock picks page if you're a partner and take a look at some new sell orders that are on there. And when I put out a sell, it doesn't mean to contemplate it. It doesn't mean to wait a while. It doesn't mean to think about it. It means to do it. Now, if you don't do it, that's fine. It's totally up to you. It's got nothing to do with me other than it's my recommendation. But my recommendation on a sell is not a recommendation to wait and see. It means to sell. I've got an enormous amount of response in reference to the very thing I wasn't going to talk about yesterday. As a matter of fact, if you want to hear it, it's going to be it's being posted on YouTube here shortly, so you'll be able to see it on YouTube, and you can just click on search Dan Celia Financial Issues, and you'll find the audio of that on YouTube. Got an enormous amount of response. It clicked off a number of interviews. It was amazing. First of all, the thing I liked most about the interviews was that there were some people listening to the program that I didn't know listened to the program. And they don't ever claim to listen. They claim to monitor it. I don't know. How do you monitor it without listening? I guess you can. I can't say I intently listen to everything that I have on audio-wise in my ear in the morning. But nevertheless, got an enormous amount of response from you, from my listeners. And I want to thank you because 95%, 99% of them were so encouraging, and I appreciate that. As you probably gathered or know, it wasn't something scripted. It was just from my heart and what I believe as far as the Republican Party. I did get a couple of negative blowbacks. I got the usual kind of, why do you want to hurt the Republican Party? You claim to be a conservative. I don't want to hurt. I only want to hurt what is claiming to be conservative that isn't conservative, whether it be the Republican Party or anybody else. I don't mean to hurt it. I mean to call it out. So I wasn't trying to hurt anything. I was trying to call out what apparently is the case. I was trying to point out the dangers of moving to the center or maybe even left of center. So that's what we were doing. And I don't remember all the things I said, but apparently it hit a lot of nerves, and I appreciate it because most of it was good. And of course, there were always the idiotic responses as well, which that's fine. I read those, take those, listen to them. I'm not going to comment on any of them today because I don't want to stir up, all my listeners coming to my support. I appreciate it. I know you guys support me, and I thank you for that. Let's see the big news, I guess, and what the markets, they only have this to talk about, and that was some economic news that came out yesterday. Of course, first of all, that Cyprus shot down, as I suspected they would. Remember, I said that yesterday. I started the program yesterday. You can go back and listen to it. at afr.net or financialissues.org if you don't have the podcast. But I started out the program yesterday talking about Cyprus, and I was talking about all the articles out there that didn't even know the facts, didn't even attempt to understand the facts, and were talking as if this had already happened. And I said yesterday, the odds of this happening right now are slim to none. And in it, I wrote an article about it that was published after the vote. The vote coming out of the Cypriot government from Cyprus saying that, hey, look, we're not going to pass this. And they voted it down, so it's not going to happen. The problem is they're going to come up with an alternative plan here. One of the alternative plans could be the fact that Russia went to them and said, look, no sweat, we'll bail you out. We'll give you all the money you want. We just want to have the energy rights for Cyprus. So are they that desperate? Maybe. They could be. That would be a little scary. It sure would be good for Russia. But nevertheless, that's one of the plans that's on the table. So we'll see how that goes. But Angela Merkel stated her disappointment yesterday. She said that she regretted the fact that Cyprus parliaments decided and rejected the terms of the European bailout. And, you know, one of the things that those in parliament in Cyprus and the people said, why should we have to be the guinea pig? You know, that's what this was about. They want us to be the guinea pig to see how this works, to see how it can be implemented in other countries. We don't want to be the guinea pig. Now, their banks are slated to open tomorrow. They're not open yet. There is news coming out of Cyprus that says that people going to the grocery stores and such, their ATM cards are now working, so they're able to access their money, at least that way. Not everything is frozen. So it looks like the banks are preparing for an open tomorrow. I don't know if the run on the banks is going to be severe as it would have been had they passed this. But there has been an incredible shaking of of the confidence in the banking system, not only in Cyprus, but I believe throughout the Eurozone. So I got to believe that there's going to be somewhat of a run on bank, maybe a partial run. Maybe people are going to withdraw money to have at home in case this happens again. Maybe they're going to withdraw all their money. But nevertheless, no matter, it's a no-win situation for Cyprus, because even though they didn't pass it, there's still going to be some sort of run, and we'll see tomorrow. This day is going to be an opportunity for the news media over there to try to calm everybody's nerves, and that will help, I'm sure. Angela Merkel, as I said, regrets the vote. She's disappointed, and she is waiting patiently. According to Reuters, she's going to be waiting to see what they're going to do. So how are they going to secure the 12.9 bailout that they are looking to get? How are they going to secure it? Because the terms out of the EU was simply, you got to do this or we're not going to do it. Now, this is the dictatorship of the Eurozone, as I wrote. Listen, if you want to see my article on this, it's called Could Cyprus Come to America? I know that, at least for now, again, I say this often, it's on christianpress.com. So if you want to go to christianpress.com, you click on the opinion section there, and you'll find the article once you click on Dan Celia.